What's up, guys? Welcome back. What's going on? As promised, I'm gonna do a video for me pulling out the rear end. So if you guys have, if you have an E46 M3 or just any E46, same process of pulling out the rear end. First, I'm gonna actually go over the stock rear end that is out the car, kind of show you where all the connecting points are. Go into the car, give you a little rundown of what needs to be taken out. Things are going to be a little bit different because I do have a different rear end in there right now, but all the mounting points are all the same. Whatever is different, I'll kind of point that out to you guys so you don't think that that's what's on yours. But yeah, I'm going to actually jump right into this because I kind of want to get this done. But I did say I was going to, share this kind of like a DIY with you guys and show you how it's done so you can do this yourself too. All right, so first thing we got, picked up some stock wheels. I painted them silver. They were black. I don't like black rims. They're now silver. They don't look too bad though. I kind of like them. I clear coated them, painted them, couple coats silver and stuff. That's what's gonna stay. This is the rear end, stock rear end, obviously. So you can see the mounting point on the control arm there. This is one mounting point that got three, I want to say 16 millimeter bolts. I'll be specific later. Then you got the four main mounting points there. And that one there, those are 18 millimeter bolts. And then, obviously this mounting point again on the other side. And yeah, that's it. Strange. No, it's not strange. It's just that with it out the car, it just seems so simple. Got the e-brake, cables here, so gonna have to fish these in and fish out the other ones. What's up, guys? What's going on? We're under the car now, finally. Got my little suit on, got my gloves on, and now it's time to attack some of these bolts. So let me show you guys. Hopefully I could get this. Hold on. All right, first things first, we're gonna take down the exhaust. So you guys are gonna have like a lot of plastic panels and stuff underneath your car. I don't have any plastic panels because I didn't put them back. But you just take off all the plastic panels. They're like 10 millimeters bolts. I'm gonna take off these flanges here for the exhaust. I'm gonna just pull the exhaust off from right here. This is section 1. Section 1. Then we're going to come down. Then we're going to pull off these two plates here. These are 13 millimeter bolts. There's 4 on this plate, 4 on that plate. That's going to come down. And then last but not least, this is a 16 millibolt for the X bar. So, well, it's actually more of a V bar. It's a 16 millimeter. And then there's one more over there, 16 millimeter. Just gonna pull those off. And then come around to the back of the exhaust. You can see up there, the mounting bolts. They're, it's a little dark. It's 13 millimeters. 13 millimeter bolts. Get this light. There we go. We can kind of see it better. So yeah, so the mounts are 13 millimeter bolts. There is 4 of them on this side, and on the other side there is 2 right there. So one here, one on the other side. Those are 13 millimeter. Then we're gonna drop the exhaust down. So let's get the exhaust down. And if you guys have never taken down one of these stock exhausts, This thing weighs 51 pounds. Do yourself a favor. Don't make the amateur move that I made like 20 years ago when I first got one of these damn things. And I actually dropped this thing down on my chest. Good thing I had a strong chest, right? Anyway, over there behind the Porsche, you can see I got a transmission jack. So, you know, life just upgraded a little bit. So I'm going to use that transmission jack right there, put underneath this, bring it down softly. Okay guys, so notice how I left that one of the center brace in. I left 2 bolts in one of the center brace because you kind of want that to hold the exhaust up in the center, because now I have the transmission jack. I got the transmission jack in place, and I already took out 1 bolt from that side, and I took out 3 bolts from this side. So there's only 2 bolts holding up the exhaust. So alright, so now all my bolts are off from the exhaust. Just gonna go grab the 2 in the center, and this thing will be ready to come down. Alright guys, so the exhaust is off. It's off. Just gonna pull it out, get it out my way, and tell you guys what's next. Alright guys, so the next step is pull out the power bleeder, pressure it to 10 psi. It's falling now, and just basically, since I have to take the brakes apart, I got the brakes open. You can see it's just air coming through here right now. There's just air coming through there now, but basically, you know, you want to empty out all the calipers before you start disconnecting them. That way you don't get fluid all over the place. Yeah, that one's about done. What's up guys, what's going on? So we're actually in day 2 right now, because last night my phone, not my phone, but the camera died, and I didn't really want to do too much since the camera was dead, and not give you guys whatever pertinent information that I think is pertinent for, you know, dropping on these subframes. But the only thing that I did do off camera, you can see from the front, the brakes is off. So I did take off the brakes. Like I said, you know, bled all the brakes. That way I don't got brake fluid all over the floor, but all the brakes are off now and on the side, and I don't have brake fluid all over the floor. So now, excuse me. So now you see the exhaust is over there, and the next thing to do now is to really just gonna take off the bolt off of the strut, which is an 18 millimeter. Gonna drop that bolt. That way I could pull out the spring, and then I'm gonna disconnect the drive shaft. Which is no light. I'll show you guys that in a second. Gonna disconnect the drive shaft, and yeah, this thing will be ready to come down. Oh yeah, one other thing I gotta do with this car is, so since I do have the I got this PureTech brace inside the trunk. I have to take off these caps right here. I have to pull off these caps, which is not easy to come off. Got to get a screwdriver. Pull off that cap over there, and then there's a bolt all the way down that basically locks the subframe to the whole, ties the whole subframe to the strut. So I just got to take off that bolt, which is one additional step that you guys won't have to do. You won't actually have to do that step, because if you don't have one of those braces, you ain't got to worry about that. So yeah, let me actually get my works jumper on, because I don't really want to get dirty, even though there's not really that much dirt under there. But anyway, let me get that on. Let me get to work. All right, guys, so got all the bolts from here. The drive shaft is now loose. Just gonna go to the front of the car and pull the drive shaft off completely. If we go to the front here, you can see I just got some hex bolts, and this is the Seems Legit adapter. So you can adapt this one piece drive shaft to the ZF BMW transmission. So I'm just gonna go grab this and pull the drive shaft out. Alright guys, so next thing to take out now is this cross member brace. There's a 13 there, two 13s there, another two 13 millimeters there, and then you got the 18 millimeter for the main drop points. I got these caps off with a screwdriver, and there's an 18 millimeter bolt in here, and then there's a 14 millimeter 12 side bolt on the bottom, of which I have a ratchet on it already. So I already got this loosened. So alright guys, now that that one is loose and completely down, that one, I'm about to take that one off. But pretty much the only thing holding this subframe up is I got the 3 bolts here on the control arm on that side. Then I got the other 3 bolts on the other side. And then I got the 2. I have this main 18 right here. You can see I have the 14 millimeter wrench on it. And then I have the other 18 millimeter bolt right here for the cross brace. So what I'm going to do now is get the transmission jack underneath the whole subframe, and then just take off all those points. You can see the e-brake cables are hanging. I already disconnect those. It's a 10 millimeter inside the car, and just pull them right out. So let's get this transmission jack underneath this. Okay, it's all being supported by the transmission jack. I'm gonna just pull those bolts out, and then this should come down. All right, real important guys, before you actually do drop down the subframe, take off all the bolts, you want to disconnect your ABS sensors. So there's one ABS sensor on this side, and on the other side, on the passenger side, there's an ABS and a brake sensor. So you just want to disconnect it, and then you want to just pop off all these clips here, and you want to remove it from the subframe. That way, when you drop it down, you don't pull on these and they stay on the body. Because these are expensive and they're important, so don't mess them up. Let me show you guys. So on this side, you have the brake sensor and you have the ABS sensor. So just pull all these clips, go along and let them hang from the body. All right, we should be ready to come down now. That was the last bolt. So let's see what we got. All the bolts are loose in the car, but with the PureTech subframe brace, it actually threads into the body. So the last one on the driver's side there is what you hear me wrenching away at. I'm just slowly taking it out. The bolt has got to be probably like almost a foot long. All right, guys, there you go. This is what now the rear end look like. This is what all them 1500, I forgot what the name of this link is. Maybe one of you guys could tell me in the comments. But yeah, all the robust stuff you need. Got your bushings. Got your poly bushings here. Oh, your poly bushings. This was the long thread that goes into that. Brace that's in the trunk. So that's what I was loosening there. You see, it threads into the body and then threads into the trunk. But these control arms were refinished. They also have upgraded poly bushings. In those, you can see you have links here, upgraded poly bushings there. Yeah, this is the works. This is a little filter that I put on the diff, because these diffs got to breathe. So you just put this filter so it doesn't breathe out too much fluid, but it breathes through this, and then it pushes back fluid inside. We're just gonna clean this up. Just gonna clean it up, spray it down, wipe it down. But that's it. You want a rear end? 6500. It's yours. Got the Hot Chick sway bar. Everything as one. Hot Chick sway bar. Got your G-Force 2000 horsepower. Axles. Yeah. Control arm. This control arms, all refinished. They all go with it. Built rear end. This has a true track, and built diff inside. Seems Legit doesn't offer that. This was actually a different upgrade that I did, got done on this, and then it has the AD Engineering backplate. So this backplate is a lot stronger. So it was robust already, but even made it more robust. Got this whole custom brace here, mounted to the subframe, and yeah, you're good to go. Poly bushings here on the sway bar. that's it though, guys. Yeah, I mean, now it's just a matter of, you know, got all that reinforced from before. Alright guys, so that's it. That's it for this episode. I don't think I'm gonna mix in the other episode with this. I was gonna, maybe I might do a part 2. Or you guys could just kind of ask me whatever questions that you might have below about this rear subframe. Pretty much the stock subframe is already in one piece like you guys saw. So it's really just a reverse action now. So I'm just gonna, you know, drag that subframe out here, put it on the transmission jack, jack it up in there, and just reverse the whole process. So really, I mean, you guys can see it's not that difficult. Like I said before, you will have plastic panels, a lot of plastic panels. There's like 3 plastic panels on the bottom. They're just like 10mm screws, plastic screws. Just take those off. That's one of the major differences besides mine. It'll be a little bit easier because you won't have to do the big bolts in the in the trunk. So you won't have to really worry about that. So you know, that'd make it a little bit easier because you don't have that extra reinforcement to deal with. You just got the 4 standard 18mm bolts in the subframe, and then you got the 3 bolts on each side of the control arm. And yeah, thing just comes right down. As far as the drive shaft though, so obviously I had to get a stock drive shaft, so I did pick up a stock drive shaft, and I actually changed the center bearing. I changed the center bearing just in case you guys ever want to change the center bearing. If you're not sure how to change the center bearing, it's literally just the 18mm bolt right in here. You just use a wrench, 18mm wrench. Just pull that out. You know, this comes off easy, comes on, the other one goes on. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to put this stock 2-piece drive shaft back in the car. So that's ready to go. Everything is pretty much here, ready to go, bolt up, get this car back on the ground. I'm gonna put the stock brakes back on, and yeah, you know, I'll be daily in this car for a little bit. Even though it was my daily before, it just won't look as pretty without the brakes. Nobody ever saw the subframe. But yeah guys, let me know if you're interested in the built rear end, 8.8 rear end. It does come with the drive shaft. It is going to come with the adapter plate to bolt this right up to your manual transmission or whatever, your M3. It's going to bolt right up. So every single thing that you need, I already did all the homework. I already did everything because I had a little technical difficulties when I first did it. So, you know, I had everything, the drive shaft built and then the adapter, and just got it all together. But anyway, guys, yeah, that's enough for this episode. Thank you. Leave your comments, statements, any questions down below. Catch you on the next one, guys. Peace.